Imagine waking up one day and feeling an unfamiliar tug on your soul, a subtle yet powerful call from deep within. It whispers that there is something more, something you have yet to uncover about yourself and the universe. This is often the first sign of spiritual awakening, a profound journey that will transform how you see the world and yourself forever. The path to spiritual enlightenment is not a straight line. It's filled with twists, dark nights, and bright rebirths. As you begin to unravel the layers of conditioning, you will face both beauty and hardship. Each stage reveals a new depth of understanding about life, your connection to the cosmos, and the eternal truths of the soul. This journey is not just a fleeting moment of insight, but a series of transformations that reshape your reality at its core. As we walk through these 5 stages, ask yourself, where are you now, and where are you headed? Because awakening is not just a destination, it's a lifelong journey, a dance between darkness and light, fear and faith. The call. The spiritual awakening journey often begins with a deep, internal sense that something in life needs to shift. This feeling, known as the call, is rarely straightforward. It may emerge from an emotional crisis, perhaps the death of a loved one, a devastating breakup, or a health scare. In moments of existential panic, where you question everything you thought you knew, your soul is signaling that a greater truth lies beyond the surface. As Eckhart Tolle describes it, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. These experiences, though painful, are catalysts for awakening. During this stage, there's a distinct sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction with life as it currently stands. You begin questioning your purpose, the meaning of life, and the nature of existence itself. It's common to feel lost, yet that sense of confusion is exactly what begins to open the door to something greater. As Greg Braden explains, there is a deep interconnectedness of all life on Earth, from the tiniest organisms to the largest ecosystems. You start to feel that everything is connected, but you can't quite articulate how or why just yet. For many, the call feels like an invitation from the universe. It challenges you to explore deeper layers of reality. While this stage may feel isolating or even frightening, it's the moment when your higher self begins to speak. Those who embrace the discomfort find themselves on the edge of profound transformation. As Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." The wound, the pain, and the uncertainty are not punishments. They are portals to your awakening. You may not yet know where the path leads, but answering the call is the first step toward a higher, more enlightened existence. The breakdown. After the call comes a stage often described as the breakdown. In this stage, your old beliefs, values, and identity begin to crumble. The life you once knew no longer feels aligned, and this disintegration can feel overwhelming. This is where many people experience what spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle call the dark night of the soul. During this phase, you may feel a deep sense of isolation, as if you're disconnected from both yourself and the world around you. But in this darkness, something powerful is happening. Your ego is being dismantled to make space for a new, higher self. The breakdown often manifests as a series of emotional upheavals, grief, anger, or profound sadness. It may be triggered by significant life changes like job loss, illness, or the end of a relationship. These external events force you to confront the parts of yourself that you've buried, including limiting beliefs and unresolved trauma. As spiritual teacher Michael Beckwith says, "Pain pushes until vision pulls." This is where the process of shedding your old self begins, but it is not without its discomfort. The old reality falls apart, making way for a new, higher perspective. At the core of the breakdown is the realization that the life you once thought was solid and permanent is, in fact, fleeting and fluid. The universe, through your mind, tests your resilience by creating distractions, doubts, and emotional turbulence. Yet it is precisely in these moments of hardship that your soul begins to rise. Rumi captures this truth when he says, "When you let go of who you are, you become who you might be." This breakdown is not a punishment. It is an invitation to release everything that no longer serves you. Trust that through this destruction comes profound transformation. The awakening. There comes a moment, often quietly and without warning, when the confusion of the past begins to dissolve, and you are left standing at the edge of a profound realization. This is the awakening, where everything you thought you knew shifts, and the world is suddenly drenched in a new light. It's not just a moment of understanding, but a rebirth of your very being. You see beyond the illusions, the superficial distractions, and the noise of daily life. Instead, you feel the hum of the universe around you, the subtle whispers of truth that have been calling you for so long. This is the moment when your soul begins to stir, awakening to its deeper purpose. In this stage, your old self starts to fall away, like a cocoon shedding its skin. You're no longer bound by the stories you've been told or the limitations you once believed in. Eckhart Tolle describes this as the moment you realize that you are not your mind. The inner voice of doubt, fear, and confusion loses its grip, and in its place, there is only stillness, an eternal presence that has always been there, waiting for you to notice. This isn't just an intellectual shift, it's a visceral experience. Suddenly, synchronicities begin to appear in your life, small signs from the universe that you're on the right path. It's as if the world is speaking to you in a language you are just now beginning to understand. The awakening often comes with an overwhelming sense of connection, to yourself, to others, and to something far greater. It's in this moment that you begin to trust the unfolding of your life. You see how everything that's ever happened, even the pain and the loss, has been leading you here, to this sacred space of transformation. Greg Braden talks about this shift as the moment when you understand that every thought, every feeling is part of a larger cosmic dance. You are no longer a passive observer. You are a co-creator with the universe, and it's in this recognition that true freedom lies. As you awaken, you step into your true power, understanding that your life is not happening to you. It's happening for you. The inner battle. As the initial bliss of awakening fades, many find themselves in the midst of an unexpected storm, the inner battle. This stage is marked by a profound clash between your old self and the new consciousness that is emerging. The ego, which has been built on fear, limitations, and societal conditioning, resists this transformation with everything it has. It's a battle that isn't fought with swords or shields, but within your mind and heart, as you wrestle with self-doubt, fear of change, and old habits that refuse to let go. This is where the shadow self surfaces, the part of you that you've kept hidden, buried under layers of conditioning. As Carl Jung once said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The ego will cling to its familiar stories, whispering that you're not ready, that you're not worthy, or that you're simply delusional. Old wounds may resurface, relationships may become strained, and life might feel as though it's falling apart. Yet this is the fire through which your soul is being forged. The key in this stage is surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in releasing the need to control the process. As you battle the remnants of your old self, remember that this too is part of the journey. Spiritual masters like Ram Dass have often reminded us that the ego's resistance is not a sign of failure, but a necessary step in awakening. The pain you feel is not a step backward, but a clearing out of what no longer serves your highest self. The universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you for the next phase of your transformation. The challenge is to remain grounded, patient, and compassionate with yourself as the inner conflict unfolds. Trust that this battle, as painful as it may be, is part of your soul's evolution. The surrender. After the intensity of the inner battle comes one of the most significant and often misunderstood stages, the surrender. In this phase, the struggle against what is fades, and a deep, profound acceptance takes its place. It's the moment when you stop trying to control every outcome, stop fighting the process, and allow life to unfold as it is meant to. The paradox of surrender is that in letting go, you actually gain more power. It's not a passive resignation. It's an active decision to trust in the flow of the universe. Surrender is the key that unlocks the door to grace. This phase of Michael Singer is about releasing the need to always understand, to always know what comes next. It's a humbling realization that some things are beyond our control and that the universe operates in ways far more intricate and vast than our human minds can comprehend. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or a personal failure, surrender is about embracing the mystery without needing all the answers. In surrender, you make peace with the unknown. It's where you begin to feel lighter, as the weight of resistance is lifted from your shoulders. You begin to flow with life, rather than push against it. The profound beauty of this stage is that as you surrender, the universe opens up paths and possibilities that were previously hidden. It is through this surrender that your true self emerges, unburdened by fear or doubt. As you navigate the stages of spiritual awakening, it's essential to remember that this journey is not linear. Each stage, whether it's the call, the struggle, or the surrender, serves a vital purpose in your personal and spiritual evolution. Spiritual awakening is often seen as a rebirth, a process where layers of your old self are peeled away, revealing the core of who you truly are. It's a path filled with challenges, but also with immense growth, beauty, and understanding. Ultimately, the journey is about reconnecting with your higher self, aligning with the universe, and embracing the truth that everything you need is already within you. Trust in the process, no matter how difficult it seems. As Rumi said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." It is through these transformative stages that you will come to know the light that's always been inside you, guiding you toward your highest self.